Oh, no, that's not good. We'll get that later. That was you that fumbled it, not me. Ball security. So first, I just want to thank everyone involved in this search committee. Obviously, Chancellor Frank, just phenomenal to get a chance to meet you and understand your vision for the program and for the university, and the idea that it doesn't have to be academics or athletics, but for both to be able to live in harmony, and for both to be able to uplift one another is ultimately the mission that we all need to understand, and one that I'm proud to be part of. Martin, I thought just a phenomenal job in expressing his vision and his beliefs for what this program needs to be, where it maybe has come up a little short in the past and what he was looking for, but alignment was a word that continued to show up over and over and over again. And I think anywhere that you are, any opportunity you have, when you think you can succeed or would like to succeed, it takes three things from the people really above you that you're asking for. And the first one is, do they understand? Do they have any idea what you're actually going through, what the team actually needs, that the things that we need to move forward with quickly? The depth of understanding is important, and Martin certainly does that. The second one is, do you care? There's a lot of times you might say, yeah, I understand that, but that is irrelevant right now. I have 15 other things I got to worry about, and your one thing is not a fire I'm ready to put out right now. So there has to be this understanding, then there has to be this care, and then when you finally understand and care, there has to be this willingness to work together. So those three things became very apparent as I spoke to Martin in this process. He understands what it takes, he cares a lot about it, and he has a willingness to work together, more so than anywhere else I've ever been, and I think that's really important to understand. I want to thank the search committee as well. As you go through, the guys that were on that really are, another thing that stood out to me. Obviously, it all starts with Martin, but as you go into the next group of guys, from Casey over to Bob to Adam, just the energy that they feel for UCLA and the belief that they have in UCLA is what stood out to me. There is zero chance that they're going to allow us to fail. They will do whatever it takes to push this forward and to be supporters of what this program needs, and that is important to me. I don't want to believe more in a place than a place believes in itself. And those are three men that believe in UCLA and the power of UCLA at huge levels. And I think that is important, for us and our support. Going back to, obviously, JMU, where we have a huge task ahead of us right now, and we're still playing in the 12-team playoff, and I could not be more proud to actualize those dreams and take that program to the level, that becomes a reality. Those same exact dreams are dreams that we will have here. And those are things that we know that we can do and that we will have the blueprint for doing. We got to make sure that we get the right people involved to see those dreams all the way through. But I can't thank enough everyone involved at JMU that allowed me to this opportunity. Most importantly, the players. The players are the ones and the reason why I'm standing here in front of you today. And I couldn't be more proud to be associated with them and excited to get home and get back to work. There'll be a little juggling that's going to occur here in my life, so the multitasking skills are going to come in handy here really quick. I think the 3-hour time difference helps quite a bit as well, but that will all be part of it. That I'm sure sleep was not an option for the past couple of days, but I'm sure it will really not be an option as we move forward here. But to my family, just can't thank you enough to share your father. That is not easy to do, and I don't know how many in here are sons of coaches, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to just really put your needs aside and share your father with a different side of a family with that team, and I think I appreciate you all more than you can know. To my father, mother, Ed, thank you so much for being here. Nick, my brother Vince, who couldn't make it, but it takes a village. It really does, and there's not anybody that is going to do this all by themselves. And I think just as much as I'm not just a football coach, I'm also a husband and a father, a son and a friend. I think those are things that I realize for every one of our players here as well. You're not just football players. There's a lot more that comes with it. And although your talents will be put on display each and every week, understand that as coaches, we will all care about you more than just as football players. I think, for me, as I've gone through some of these experiences before, it always starts with this question: is can they win? Right? Can they win at the place that they are currently at? And to me, there is zero doubt in my mind that we can win here at UCLA. I think when you go through and think about the history here, not only on the football field, but in all the other sports, most recently men's water polo, you know, the amount of 125 national championships to be held here, 11 banners hanging, you know, in the pavilion. The things that come with it to me are just, this is the expectation, right? And what we are doing is not the norm at this current state in time. So the expectation and the norm is to win, and that is what we will be able to do here. I believe in the power of UCLA, and I think that's important for everyone in here to understand, right? And I, again, do not want to be the only one believing it, and I know that we have a room full of people that do, and the plan that we will have in place will allow us to realize that. It will be built on toughness, it will be built on competitiveness, they will be asked, our players will be asked to compete on a day-to-day basis with constant feedback coming back to them to allow them to succeed or fail. As they succeed, realize that the leading cause of failure is mismanaged success, and the leading cause of success is well-managed failure. But those have to be opportunities that they can compete every single day. That is something that I truly believe in, and the minute we get here and get started, that will be part of exactly what we do. In closing, I just want to thank everybody in here. I want to thank the players for their belief in me, you know, the administration and the search committee for their belief in me, but to our student body, we need you now more than ever. This is not just our team, this is your team. To the administrators, to the professors, right, as classes go on, I will be reaching out to a lot personally to make sure that those relationships are developed. I will be present on campus and make sure I go around personally and do class checks. This is also your team. And then I think for everybody in the LA area, this is a town that we could look at the Lakers, we could look at the Dodgers, we could look at so many other teams that is rich in history of winning. That is what we need to bring back here. And we don't need to be the other school in this town. We need to be the school in this town. And I promise that will happen here in the very, very near future. I appreciate you all for being here. I need you to know how excited and energized I am. My family is. A little bit of business, a lot of business to take care of back in Harrisonburg, Virginia in the coming week, but I cannot wait to get up here and get things rolling here with our Bruin family. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Go Bruins.